Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. We're going to do a review today on the 12 cup Hamilton Beach programmable cone filter. So this takes the cone filters. It takes a number 4 cone filter, and it's got this basket that comes out that you put the filter in. It's got the auto pause. This is a little different setup than some of the other coffee makers, but when you put the coffee pot in, it allows the coffee to brew, and when you take the pot out, it pauses it for just a little bit. These cone filters are actually pretty good. I think they brew a little bit nicer. So back here is where you put the water. It's got a sight glass here, tells you where the water goes. But there's a really neat feature. So you've got to remember to put this water spout, the steam spout, back over the filter. But in case you forget, it's got this mechanism here that when you close the lid, it automatically puts it there. So I really like that. That's a really nifty feature. But other than that, it doesn't keep the time if you lose power, but it does have a programmable. And the way you brew a pot of coffee is just, you come up here, and if you want to just brew it right now, you hit the on-off button, and that starts the brew process. But okay, so the way you're going to set time is if you it's got this hour and minute button. You're just going to come up here and hit the hour and minute. There's no backlighting to this display. That would be nice, but there's not. And that's the way you set the time. And you just got to scroll through to get to PM. So let's say it's 2 PM. Now to set the program is a little tricky. You come up here, you hit the program button, it starts flashing 1999. But if you let go, it goes back to time. So what you got to do is you got to hold the program button and then set your time. So let's say I want to start this at 5 in the morning. I'm going to let go. Now it's not going to start yet. You got to do one more step. Here's the auto button. If I press the auto button, the green light's on, the auto light's on, and it's going to start at 5 a.m. in the morning. But if I come over here and hit the program button to check what time, it turns the auto off. So if you want to check your time for the auto, you got to come back over here and hit the auto button. The green light means it's going to start at your program time in the morning, or whenever that may be. And then if you want to, this on-off button is if you just want to brew a pot of coffee right now. You're going to hit that. It's going to start the brewing process. Okay, so the cord is not super long. It's about standard, but it does have a nice little cord storage here. Okay, so the coffee pot has a nice ergonomic feel. I like this little thumb button here that lifts the lid up. And we're going to try it pouring. Some coffee pots don't pour the best. I kind of like this one. If you go nice and slow, it pours pretty good. Okay, so again, you're going to move this out of the way. You're going to put your cone filter in. It takes a number 4 cone filter. And most coffee makers say you need 1 tablespoon of coffee grounds for every cup. So I'm going to make a 12 cup. That equates to just under a cup. I'm not going to quite do that much, but that's how much it takes. Okay, so we're going to pour our coffee in. So again, the really nifty feature is if you forget to move this over the coffee grounds, when you close it, it's going to move it for you. So now we're going to pour in the water in the back. Most people use the coffee pot itself. Now it's not going to start brewing until I turn the on-off switch. Okay, so when you use the coffee pot, it does make a little bit of a mess. So we're going to put it in there. We're going to close the lid. Now we're going to come over here and just hit the on-off button. It's going to start brewing a pot of coffee. That's going to start the warming plate. This has a warmer plate, and it's going to start boiling the water, do that percolator action. If you forget to turn it off after 2 hours, it turns itself off. And I'm going to time the brew. Okay, so we're right at the 2-minute mark, and it's not quite up to the 3 cup mark. This is pretty standard brewing time. What I want to show you is the pause. So up here, if you watch, when you take the coffee pot out, it's going to pause the brewing. That little plunger comes up and stops the coffee from coming out. Now you do get a few drips on there, but this one works a little bit better than the Mr. Coffees. The Mr. Coffees, you get about three drips. So then you just put your coffee maker back in, and then it starts the brewing process. Now you can't do this very long. It says about 20 seconds, or this basket will fill up with water and overflow. Okay, so we're nearing the end. It's almost to the 12 cup mark, and we're right at the 9.5 minutes. So this actually is pretty good as far as brewing time. So now if I wanted to take a cup out, pour it. It pours pretty good. It just, I was messing up if you try to pour a bunch of water out into the bag. That could be an issue. Okay, so we're going to check temperature. Yeah, 167, 168. That's about standard. You do get quite a bit of steam coming around it at the end, and this lid is kind of hot, so you're not going to want to touch it. Okay, so the coffee does taste pretty good. I've tasted it black, and I've also tasted another pot with creamer and sugar, and it tastes really good. I think there's something to these cone filters. I think they just get a little better taste, a little better saturation of the coffee grounds. So now I'm going to show you cleanup. Okay, so what's nice about cleanup is you're going to lift this basket, you're going to take this over to your trash can, and it's not going to drip because it's got that pause brewing. It's not going to drip as you take it over to your trash can and dump out the coffee grounds in the filter. Okay, so this is what's dishwasher safe. You're going to take the lid off. It's got two little ears here that pop off. So you can get your hand in there a little bit. I like it when you can get your hand in there, but that seems pretty nice. Like I said, I rinse mine out after 2 or 3 pots of coffee every time I rinse it out, but then I throw it in the dishwasher about every 3rd time. So it'll be a dishwasher top rack only. And the way this cone basket goes in, it only goes one way. It's got this little ear over here that you can lift. You can't get it wrong. And then that way you can be able to move that over. But if you forget, it comes over. It does have a warming plate. And again, if you forget to turn it off, it turns off after 2 hours. I've tested that function. It works good. But I'm going to turn it off. So again, this is just a dad, and I did a review on this Hamilton Beach 12 cup. The coffee tastes really good, and it brewed maybe just a little quicker. But again, if you could please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.